If someone had told me when we were crossing this bridge that one day I would be back here introducing the first African American president, I would have said, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, you don't know what you're talking about. President Barack Obama.
On March 7, 1965, activists planned a march from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery to protest voting discrimination. 600 people, led by Martin Luther King Jr. and John Lewis, among others, marched and were met at the county line by state troopers and possemen, who attacked the peaceful marchers with billy clubs and tear gas. 4 were killed and 17 hospitalized. It is considered one of the most famous political protests in U.S. history. As a direct result, the Voting Rights Act was proposed 15 days later.
Lawrence Pierce, a local cameraman, captured images that day with a camera similar to this one. He rushed to mail the film off to New York, and that night ABC interrupted the Sunday night movie with the events that were later named Bloody Sunday. This was at a time when 9 out of 10 American families had TVs, and over 70% of the adult population watched the news. All 3 networks showed the Selma violence. 50 years later, the eyes of the world were once again on Selma, Alabama, and President Obama delivered a speech that many are considering to be the most important presidential speech on the issue of civil rights to date.
Professor Harrell and Professor Cunningham led a group of 40 South Alabama students on a bus trip to Selma with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of history.
I've been to Selma several times and also traveled to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, but what made this particular trip an amazing experience was taking the students here from the University of South Alabama first, and also watching their eyes glow.
I felt like I was there with Martin Luther King when I went on that walk. You know, I kind of felt, what they were going through. I watched the movie right before I went, so I saw exactly what they went through, what they had been through on the march, and, it was one of the best experiences I've had.
It just made me feel blessed to know that these people did all this for me so that I have the opportunities that I have today.
They said there would be a lot of people, but when I got there, it wasn't what I expected at all. It was overwhelming how many people were there and how many different ethnicities were there. It was beautiful.
And that's what the young people here today, and listening all across the country, must take away from this day. You are America, unconstrained by habit and convention, unencumbered by what is, because you're ready to seize what ought to be.